So I just filmed an empties video and I decided to make another college countdown video. I haven't made one since I think my first one, and I think I talked about like my junior year and how everything went like that. So halfway done with my senior year now. I already applied to all the colleges. So anything, it's like my fate is sealed right now. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll tell you where I applied, and I'll just go from there. So I applied to 8 schools, so I guess I'll just list them. I applied to UC Berkeley, UC Irvine, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC Riverside, USC, NYU, and Columbia University. Okay, so I've already been accepted to UC Riverside, so that's good. But that was my safety school because I already had a guaranteed acceptance from over the summer, and if you watched my vlogs, then you would know that. But yeah, so I knew that one was coming, and that was going to be my safety school. And the application process killed me. I think that was a pretty accurate way to say that. What I would have done differently is basically I would have started on the personal statement over summer. I don't know why I was under the impression that they changed the personal statements every year. I mean, they could in theory depending on where you're applying to. But for example, the UC system, they're the same every year. So if you're applying to any one of the University of Californias, then those personal statements are the same every year. And if you use the Common App is a system. I didn't know about this until August. Nobody at my school ever told me about the Common App. And then I started getting all these emails on August 1st when the Common App opened. I was like, what is this? So I wish my school would have prepared me more for that because I didn't even understand the Common App, how it worked. I didn't understand anything. I had to find that all out by myself. So it would have helped to know more about that. But anyway, the Common App, I'm not sure if their questions change on a yearly basis, but I assume they don't because generally for the Common App you put all your information, like all your clubs, your grades, courses taken, you know, just the typical things that colleges want to know, your parents' information, your ethnicity, your just, you know, the basic information about you. And then different schools may or may not have a writing supplement. I was planning on applying to Ohio State because they wanted me for a marching band, but I ended up not doing that. But for example, that school is a little bit easier to get into, so they didn't require a writing supplement, so technically I had no personal statement for that one. And I have friends that applied to the California State University system, and those didn't require personal statements either. So it just depends on which colleges you apply to, whether you have to do a personal statement or not. But either way, if you want scholarships, just writing personal statements over the summer is something that would give you a really good head start. So yeah, the schools that I applied to that use the Common App were University of Southern California, Columbia, and NYU, and those all had really kind of long writing supplements. And the writing supplement is basically the personal statement. For those, they asked me things like, why would the school be a good fit for you? Why would you be a good fit for the school? What would you bring to the school? Not like physically, like I would bring deodorant, but like, you know, what traits and qualities would you bring to the school? Why would it be a good fit? Things like that. And sometimes, like for, I believe it was NYU, they asked like what kind of movies I like, what kind of music, what exhibits or concerts I've been to, just like different things. I'm not really sure how they use that information, but I know USC as well did that type of thing. Like they asked me what my favorite food was, what my favorite like character of all time was, favorite color, things like that that you wouldn't think are really relevant, but I feel like they use it to create a more inclusive picture of you outside of SAT scores and GPA, which I thought was really cool. It felt more personal. And also know if the major or program you want to get into requires any supplemental forms or applications or things like that, because I was not aware. My parents didn't go to college. I don't know how any of this works. I don't have siblings. I don't have cousins who've been to like college either. So I was pretty much on my own. I didn't know what to expect, and I plan on majoring in film or media studies, and then either minoring or double majoring in business and marketing principles, things like that. So I really, for the film stuff, didn't know that a lot of schools require other materials until later on than I'd like to. I would have liked to know for the summer so that I could start on things and devote more time and care to essays and any projects I would have done, but I had no idea. So for example, UCLA had different essay requirements that they had you do in addition to the regular UC application, to see if you would make it into the theater, film, and television program. So I sent those in, and you have to get letters of recommendation and things like that. And I wish I had known earlier so I could have given my teachers and counselors more heads up on that. So yeah, I'm sure you can do the research. Like, does my major involve any supplemental stuff? I just didn't even know that was a thing, honestly, because I don't know anyone who's gone to college, and I just I didn't feel very prepared for doing applications and stuff, so I kind of just did it the best I could, and I know, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, that was a really hard few months, and I thought going into senior year that my teachers would know, hey, this is application season, it'll be a little easier class-wise because of the applications. No. I was taking 2 AP classes, band, and then Spanish 3, and no, they don't care that it is application season. And at my school they have a senior project, and they started doing all these different things in relation to the senior project, and it made it really hard to balance time and energy to put into the applications. Like, I don't know why my teachers started assigning more homework, and they knew that we had these applications to do, and I feel like that's something. I understand that AP classes have a workload requirement that I'm prepared for, but to assign more and to put the senior project things on top of it, I feel like my school did not do. They just don't do a good job in helping people get to the colleges they want to get to, because they make you sacrifice time and energy and effort that you would have put into your college applications and devote it to other things, which obviously you're going to have to learn how to time manage, but they just really put some unnecessary obstacles in your way during application season. And I feel like people at my school would have a lot better schools that they're accepted to had we not had to deal with things like that. Just depending on how your school works, if you guys have any big things around that time, know ahead of time so you can be able to manage everything without, dying. Because I definitely got really depressed. I'm still kind of really stressed out. So yeah, it is a hard couple months, and it was filled with a lot of both technical issues, lots of technical issues. That's really the main frustration, is that everything I was doing had some sort of technical issue that I had to work around. So make sure you do things early so that you're not caught in, oh my gosh, this is due in an hour and it's not sending, oh my gosh, make sure you have ample time to know that your stuff is going to be sent in, so you don't lose the opportunity to go to the school that you've wanted to go to. So now I am taking AP Government, AP Microeconomics, and band, and AP Psychology, and it's definitely a lot of work, but I kind of like it because it allows me to distract myself, because I'm kind of in the period right now where I'm just waiting for letters from colleges, and that's kind of a hard time to be in, because I'm just kind of at that point where I just don't feel the need to be in high school anymore. I just feel like this is just kind of a waste of time for me to be in this last 2 terms of school. So I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm just gonna tell you, it's not fun. You feel like you don't need to be there. It's like, why try? But do try, because I think every school requires you to get a C or a D or better, I don't know, some sort of passing requirement in your last 2 terms to make sure you don't slack out too much. So make sure you know what you're doing so you don't get caught in that. And also, financial aid. Apply for financial aid. I'm pretty sure there are 2 types of financial aid across the country, and that's FAFSA and the CSS profile, and your school should tell you, or not your school, but the schools that you are applying to, you should be able to look it up and see whether they accept FAFSA or CSS. My dad did the CSS profile, which is a really long, intricate process. So the CSS profile requires a lot of information and a lot of time. But turns out the schools that accepted CSS for me, like Columbia, NYU, and USC, also accepted FAFSA. So some of them accept both. So you just gotta do your research and figure out that, so you don't do like extra work if you don't need to. So yeah, that's pretty much it right now. Right now I'm trying to distract myself by like thinking of ideas for my dorm and things like that. My friends who go to UC Irvine came back a couple times, and I saw them and talked about college, and it just seems like wherever I go I'll end up where I need to be, hopefully, and everything will be okay. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful to some of you guys, especially those of you who are like juniors, sophomores, freshmen in high school, so that you know you can kind of know what to expect, because I didn't. I don't have anyone in my family who's been to college other than a community college, so I didn't know quite how rigorous this whole process was. So hopefully if you're in the same boat, I could kind of give you some guidance, because I know I wish somebody would have told me these things. So yeah, that's basically what I hope to do with these. And also over summer I think I'm going to do a lot of DIYs for dorm stuff, so I'll probably vlog a lot of that and show you guys that process. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.